PIA Philippine Islands Adventure. My name is Milo. Today I'm going to show you some of my orchids that has this beautiful bloom, especially this one that I'm holding on with white petals and also with a pink lips right here. It is so pretty. So first off, I have this beautiful orchid in front of me here. This is so healthy and it is growing on a little bit of sphagnum moss and wood bark chips and also perlite. It is so pretty and it is so healthy. Look at that. It is growing on one of the flower pot that I purchased a while back right here. Look at that roots, guys. It is coming out right here at the bottom and it is so healthy right here. Oh, look how many leaves in there. 7, 8 leaves. And it is so beautiful and I love it because it sets, this one is, all I have to do is just water it and it has this beautiful gorgeous flower that is unbelievable. I love the color, the combination and the texture is just so pretty. Okay, so this one has this white petal. See all that white petals right here? It is so pretty with the fuchsia color lips because this is one of my favorite. 2-color flower, you know, the fuchsia and then the white petals. And this one has been blooming for a while now. In fact, it's been a long time now since this one has been blooming, and I just finally gonna video it because before it start falling off, because some of them already fall off, but this one is all I have left is like 5 flowers in there. And the amazing part of this is I'll show you. I call this orchids the most achiever orchids. You know why? Because it's loving where I keep them in the house, indoor. Right now I'm in a motorhome, by the way, and we've been in this motorhome for a while now, and I love it here because it's so private and it is so quiet and it's so peaceful. We've been living together for what, 46 years together alone, and so we're so used to doing that. But anyway, here it is. Look at this, guys. It's got this spike coming out right here. Look at this spike. While it's still blooming right here, it puts out another spike. Can you believe that? And you know what else, guys? Besides that spike, I have another spike right here. Look at this. Can you see that spike right here? See right here? That is the 3rd spike, guys. So I have this spike, the new spike coming out, and I have this one right here coming out as well, and I have this flower right here. Can you believe that? Have you seen, have you ever grow orchids with a three stem full of flower pretty soon? I've never seen that. This is my 2nd one. I have another one that does the same thing, but it is really gorgeous. I just love these plants. Can you guys see that? Look at all that spikes coming out. 2 of them. I just can't believe it. It's just so amazing. So anyway, I keep it on the window where the bright daylight comes in, and right on the glass window in front of the motorhome. That's where I keep them because that's where they love the most. They're exposed to that daylight, and that's what the plants like. I can't leave this outside because it's too cold now. So by the way, I water them once a week. Keep the water on the dirt only. Never water this part right here. Never water that part. And if you do, if you drop, you know, there's some water droplets in there, make sure that you dry it out with a paper towel or a napkin. Make sure that it stays dry right here, above. You only water the dirt, not the plant, okay? Avoid watering the plant itself, only where the roots and the dirt are, okay? So that's a good tip. That's how you keep your plants healthy. Okay, the next one is, you guys saw this one, the one that's growing in a jar. I just water it, so it's kind of moist right now because it was really dry for a while. And you know what else I saw? There's a branch right here that's growing. It's probably another set of flower in there, and it's getting bigger, and hopefully it will open pretty soon. Hopefully in there. So I just love this one too because it's really healthy and looking great in the jar, and it's loving the jar because the roots, it's exposed to the daylight. The roots are, and like I said, I just water them. I don't have any root rots or anything on these plants right here. For the plant to feel the natural feeling in the woods, you know, and that's why I keep it right here. But I don't water too much. I do not use the regular potting mix, you know, for the plants, house plants. I do not use that. I have to use sphagnum moss, woodbark chips, or coconut husk chips. That's what I use for this one. Other one, this one I put the cinnamon. Remember, guys, I cut this the other day. I cut this and it's growing really well. So there's no rotting anywhere on the leaf. And so the leaves is doing really well. Look how healthy that is. Look how big this leaves is. That is so big, the leaves. And this one right here. And yes, I keep the tissue right here. I just moistened it a little while ago. I just put water in a little while ago to keep the roots healthy and moist. Like I said, I do not water the plant. I just take care of the dirt and the the media and the roots. I know I was showing this on my live stream, but look at that. It is so pretty. This is gonna be a really dark maroon flower, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it opens up, because I have one that already opened and it's related to this. Not related, but it's the same type variety of plants. And look at that. It is so gorgeous. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? That's so pretty. So that plant that I showed you, here's what the flower is gonna look like. That is what the flower is gonna look like. Look how beautiful that is. I just love the color, guys. Look how big the bloom. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That is so pretty, and I just love the color. This is actually one of my favorite color. Any type that's like pinkish, yeah, look at my scarf. Anything that has a little pinkish, a maroon or fuchsia color, that is one favorite color for my orchids. And I love that one. Look how beautiful that is. It is like almost like all one color except that little white one in there. This bloom has been here for a long time. I noticed one of my orchids, it's been 6 months and it's still blooming, still the same flower for 6 months, and I still have that. And this one right here, look at that. Isn't that amazing? So it's dry right here, but it's moist down here. So we want to keep that moist, and it's growing algae in here, so no problem. The plants doesn't care. As long as they're healthy and it's not overwatered, it's gonna be okay. And the jar, I love the jars for my orchids because the roots is exposed to the daylight, and that's what the plants loves, and it will continue to grow more roots and things like that. So this one, if I have to repot this one, I would have to break the glass because it'll be too tight for me to pull it out right here. I can even pull it out, see? That's how tight the plant is inside. But it's growing on coconut husk chips. See, it's a coconut husk chips that is growing in there. The next one that I'm gonna show you guys, since I'm doing our orchids plant show today, is this one right here. You notice how green it is? It's moist down here because it means that it doesn't need any watering yet. But if you notice at the top, it's really dry. So it's getting some sort of water or some sort of moisture from the bottom right here. And this one is growing on a coconut husk chips, of course, one of my favorite media. And this one has so many leaves. Okay, the other one that I showed you guys the other day, the one that has a yellow leaf, now it's turning really dark yellow. So I believe I will lose this plant. I think the infection has spread all over in there now. This plant is gonna go. Like I said, it got watered in here and it got overwatered. So that's what happened with this plant. And I wasn't able to clean it up right away. And I did not notice that until later on when it started turning yellow. As the infection is right in the middle now, see the yellow thing right here? And if I lose this one in the middle right here, this plant is gone. When the mother plant dies like that, it usually puts out a KK. So that's what I'm hoping for. And the most amazing part of this plant, is look at that. It is finally opening. Look how beautiful that is. It's another, the texture of the flower is one of my favorite because all the dottage and all the dots in there, and it's finally opening up. Actually, this was stuck right here because the two petals were stuck together. It was some kind of like a plant, it's kind of like a glue in there, so I unstuck it and that's what happened. It started opening. Guys, I'm gonna lose this one right here. It looks like this one is gonna go. The whole infection right here on the bottom is affecting the flower. I know that I'm gonna lose this plant, so I'm just gonna take care. I'm gonna do my best in taking care of them because I'm hoping that it will put out a new keiki. The watering time is this coming Sunday and it's only Wednesday here, so I have 3 days to go, 4 days. 9 leaves, guys. These are the baby leaves, and I'm not gonna take it out like I usually do. I'm gonna leave it in there. The reason is because I'll just avoid watering in there in this area, because we're not supposed to be watering in this area anyway. You water the dirt, not the plant. That is the tips right there. And look how healthy. I love this one right here more. But it looks really healthy. Look at that. Beautiful, nice looking leaves, firm, new leaf. What can I say? By the way, these are all phalaenopsis orchids. Okay, the next one, guys. I have it inside the clay pot right here, and I don't want this plant to tip down. So I have this plastic, the DIY plastic, it's like a base. When I water it, it doesn't drip down on the floor. So I leave it in a clay pot like this. And the roots is still moist. See that? It's green. Look at all the healthy roots right here. Look how much healthy roots, and there's nothing that's dead at all. This may be brown right here, but that's okay because it's healthy. It's how it is. The top one, usually it changes into different color, but that's okay. You know, the plants will live. And it's got this healthy, firm leaves. There's so many leaves right now. This is basically a new leaf right here. Also, the rest of them are firm, really firm. Look at this beautiful flower right here. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I just love the color. I just love the texture. It's like peach fuchsia color. This has been blooming for a long time now. I just now videoing it, and the leaves is so shiny. That means the plant is healthy. When you see that the leaves is so shiny, that means the plant is really healthy. This one can stay here for like 2 months, 3 months, like that. It's not gonna go anywhere. The most amazing part about this plant is, that is the most amazing. That is a spike, meaning it's gonna turn into flower pretty soon. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it takes a long time for this to grow. It could take up to 3 months, 4 months on this one before it becomes like this. That's why I love growing phalaenopsis orchids, because it's the easiest for me to grow. A lot of people, it's the most difficult to grow, but for me, it's one of the easiest orchids for me to grow. This one, because I just know how to grow them. Anyway, so this had a little infection a little while ago, so I stopped it by putting cinnamon, ground cinnamon in there. See that, guys, right here? There was a type of infection in there, and I was able to stop it. And by putting a ground cinnamon in there, that's what that is. It's powdery, so it stopped. The infection did not spread. I know there's a little black area right here, but that's about it. It's not rotting or anything like that. Like I said, it stopped. It was like that when I put the cinnamon. That was a while back. I don't remember how long ago that was. But anyway, this is one amazing plant. Okay, the next one, guys. Oh, that one was the one that I just showed you. It's growing on coconut husk chips, by the way. So I have another one right here in front of me. This one, you've seen this numerous times, but I still wanted to show you because it's been blooming for months and it has not stopped, and it's now finally falling. This one, it's got lots of roots right here. It's covered with a moist paper towel because these are A roots. It's coming out, and I'm gonna show you what they look like inside. It's right here. See, it's turning green because it was really gray because it was dry. So I got this cup right here, and I just put a little bit right there. The roots is running down right here. It's actually stick to the clay pot. It's called air roots. Worried about this yellow one here. Maybe the water got stuck in there or something. It looks healthy. You know, the leaves is really firm and really nice right here. By the way, this is called a big lip orchid. See the difference between the two? This one and this one right here? Or no, this one right here. See the difference between that and this one? This is why it's called big lip. It's wide open. See right here, it's wide open compared to that one right there. This is the one that it's hard to find at the store. Very hard to find. 3 of them that's all the same, and I bought it. It was on a clearance, you know, because they're just gonna throw it away anyway. So the color is so beautiful, and this one, you know, it gives it away. Look how beautiful this part right here. It's been blooming for a long time now. I've been watching it and, you know, keeping an eye on it. This right here, this whole set right here, it's taking a lot of energy from the plant, and that's probably why it's turning yellowish, you know. It's like, okay, I'm surrounded with orchids. I'm gonna show you what it looks like, guys. I'll show you. See that? There are lots of them, right? See? And that's probably like 1/8 of my orchids collection. This is just the one that I have here in the motorhome. I have a whole bunch more inside the house. But anyway, I keep the one that I really like to grow that are not thriving. The ones that are not thriving are the one that's actually in bloom or getting ready to bloom or spiking, because they need a special attention, because you have to keep an eye on them, because you don't want to overwater, you don't want to fertilize them when they're blooming like that. You don't want to fertilize them. I don't fertilize my orchids when they are getting ready to bloom or spiking or full bloom, because it just, I don't know, maybe it's just too much for the plants, because I experienced that and then I keep losing them. Okay, this one is growing that I'm gonna show you is they're growing in a coconut husk chips right there, okay? And this one needs watering because it's really dry right now, and that is why I love this type of flower pots that I did. Or I like to put my orchids, almost all of them, in a clear plastic flower pot or glass, because the roots is exposed into the bright light, and that's what the plants likes. You know, when they're living in their wild habitat, they're all exposed, nothing that covers them. They connect themselves into a tree, you know, into branches. That's how they grow, and they live off the moisture in the air or the dew at night, you know, during the day and during the night in the rain. And they grow really well because that is their natural habitat. Here it is. Look how dry that is right here. Growing in coconut husk chips with a little bit of eggshell, of crushed eggshells right here, and a perlite. And you can tell that I don't have any root rot in here. There's greenish in here, but you know, it's turning into a little bit of gray. But you know what, looking at the right now, just looking at the sphagnum moss right here, it looks like it's still moist. So I don't think I'm gonna water it right away. I'll probably just mist it a little bit right here, or get a paper towel, wet it, and then cover this roots up here. So anyway, I love these orchids because look at the yellow tip on the leaf. You don't see very many of them right here. See the yellow tip? So I have this plant for a long time now. I remember videoing this one because of that yellow tip leaves right here. See, that's natural. Well, the best part of this, about this plant is it's one of my orchids that are on spike. See that right there? See, there's that spike right there. This is not root, guys. The root face down, the spike face up. So that's what that is right here. How can you tell, right? Because it's totally different than roots. It's facing up. That means it's gonna bloom. So that's what this is. That's the amazing part. This plant actually doesn't grow really big. I've noticed this since I got it. It doesn't grow really big. It's always been thin. It's like slim. You know, keeps itself slim. And that's the amazing part about right here. I cannot wait. All these plants that I'm showing you that are on spike, I cannot wait until to see the bloom. Because orchid, the next one that I'm going to show you, what happened when the orchid is dehydrated. So I have this DIY flower pot that I made. If you notice, I cannot tell to see if this plant is dehydrated or not because it's colored. And so all I can see is just roots, but I cannot tell if it's dehydrated or green or whatsoever. So the only way for the plants to let me know that they are dehydrated is by showing me the leaf. The leaves that's turning yellow and shriveled. It's turning shriveled. See, it is almost shriveled. There's not a whole lot of moisture in there anymore. See? Wrinkled, right? It's not a whole lot of moisture in there anymore because the plant's been sucking out all the water that's inside the leaf in order to survive. So the same thing on this side right here. See how it's turning yellow right here and it's shriveled? It looks like prunes. You know when you dry prunes or grapes that turns into like that? It's really dehydrated. But anyway, this one is really weird. But I love this plant because to me, I still consider it as healthy because it's not dead. There's no infection. But anyway, so this one right here, I don't know what happened to this leaf. It looks like it's like it didn't grow. It's just really tiny leaf right here, and it's turning yellow either. So there's no infection on these plants whatsoever. It's just dehydrated. And the other thing for me to tell that it hasn't been watered for a long time. It's growing on coconut husk chips. See right here. Look at that. Remember I showed you a plant that looks just like this? I must have bought the same plant a while back. And the best part about it is like there's more buds right here. See all these buds? Look at that. There are more buds growing in there. So I need to water this plant. Poor thing. This amazing one flower left and it's still blooming. Isn't that amazing? See, there's more buds right here. I don't really want to cut the stem because I'll show you why. See right here, there's something is going on in there and I don't know what it is. It could be a flower that's gonna branch out, or it could be a keiki, and that's the same thing right here. Same thing, and that's the same thing right here. See, this one is actually creating a branch. It's gotta be probably a flower, and so is this one right here, and so is that one right there. So I'm gonna leave it alone. Show you the one that I have in a jar that it's waiting to repot. See this one right here, it's got lots of healthy roots and it's doing really well. It put out a new leaf right here. This is a new leaf that just came out. See, and also I have one more that I put in there together with, but I have to be very careful, make sure there's no bugs or anything like that when I put them together like that. It's this one right here. This plant is gonna die. It got watered in here and so it's dying, but it still have this two healthy leaves, but I'm gonna leave it alone. And look at right here, some roots right here, and it's living in a jar in this picture together with this other plant. Remember when my plant is dying, and before they die they put out a keiki, and so this is the keiki, guys, right here, and it's growing really good. So it's got two new leaves coming out. So it doesn't have any root yet. Once the roots start growing here, usually this plant start dying, the mother plant. So the keiki is the one that's gonna grow pretty soon. I mean, it's gonna take over this area right here. So that's why how I know that my plant is dead or dying, because it puts out a keiki right here at the very bottom. Usually a keiki comes out on on the stem, the flower stem. Usually it comes out there or it grows there, but not this one. So when the plant is dying, they grow right here at the very base of the plant. See right here. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I water my plants that's living in in a picture vase. This plant is growing in coconut husk chips. I fill this out with water. See right there. So I'm gonna leave it here for at least probably 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna take it out because it's already green and the coconut husk chips is already soaked, was a little bit dehydrated, and so I went ahead and soaked it in water. I don't know if you guys remember this. It has this beautiful spike. It is a beautiful spike. It's gonna be a maroon color, dark fuchsia blooms, and I have not lose any of this buds. It's all still there, and so that's gonna be probably another 3 weeks, and because they're still growing. It's still gonna grow big. This is a big orchids, one of the big orchids, because if you can tell, see the leaves, it's really big. So that means that the flower is gonna be big also. See the leaves, how big that is right here? It's like about a foot long, because right now the buds is really small. It's not that big yet. They're really small. I remember this when it bloomed last time. It have a really big, large flower. So that's why it's not even growing yet. So it's gonna be a while until it opens that up. So probably sometimes in like maybe end of December, I'm creating a series orchids videos from A to Z, how to raise, how to grow them, how to repot them, how to water them, and how to fertilize them. That way, anybody wants to know how to do it in my own environment here at the Pacific Northwest in the United States, where it's really cold in the winter and it's very beautiful in summer. And this is how I take care of my orchids in my own environment. Like I always said, your environment might be different than mine, so but it just gives you an idea as to how to care for them, you know. And so this one is also another big orchids, really big orchids. One thing about this orchids that you notice, the leaf is really wide. It's not long, it's just wide. See how wide that is? And it's really healthy orchids, really healthy, living well inside a jar. This one doesn't need any watering yet. See, the roots are still green, and up here is really dry, but that's okay because I just usually water this area here when I know that it's really dry. And it's got this flower, last one, and that is probably what the previous video I showed you looks like. It's gonna be the flower. That's what it's gonna look like. And this one had another bud right here that's putting out right here, maybe two more buds that's gonna come out right there. Somehow I have this really tall jar that I put these plants in there, and I wish that I didn't. I wish that I have a shorter one and it's all straight down instead of having this right here. So it's because it's just difficult to repot them, because I have to pull them all out, you know, and clean out the media and get rid of this old coconut husk chips and put a new one in. And then because it's not a lot of nutrition in there anymore, so I'm gonna replace it with a new one. So that's it, guys, and this will conclude my orchid show and how I care for them, and also how I keep them here in the motorhome. And I really love it here because it's so peaceful, it's just so quiet, and I love it here, just my husband and I, and it's just really unique, and it's a new experience for us, and we love it. You know, we're so used to living alone together, just him and I, and it's really quiet. So, but anyway, that's it, and I just want to say goodbye and edit this and then upload it. It's not a lot to edit because I was very careful in videoing it, that way I don't have to do a lot of editing, but you know, put a little bit of spice in there to spice it up a little bit, a little music there and all that. But that's it, guys. So take care, love you, and I hope you never get tired of watching my videos. If you have any questions at all, just leave comments, you know, read the descriptions, because a lot of my videos, almost all the information is right there on the account, on the video descriptions, because especially short videos, I put a lot of stuff in the description because I don't have enough room, I don't have enough time when I do short videos, so I just explain it in the video descriptions, and I have a lot of information in there in the video descriptions. So happy holiday, guys. Thank you so much. Love you, take care. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also click on the bell, you know, click on the bell, that way you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. God bless. Bye bye now, take care.